Thank you for everyone for joining. This is we do these digital workshops kind of every month, around every month. The next one I'll announce during the talk today. But this one is how to structure your website and blog for SEO. We do this work a lot, and we figured this was a good tool for people to have, marketers, business owners, to really understand whether you're doing this for your own website or you're working with you have a marketing team working for you that's doing this. How do you ask the right questions, give them the right tools so that they can do their keyword research more effectively? And so we're going to be talking about understanding keyword intent and on-page optimization. Those are the big ones. And Lauren is going to be joining me, so I'll introduce both of us here in a second. Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, these workshops, it's a little bit more informal. Like, we're sharing your screens. We're going to hop into an exercise at the end because we want to make sure that the knowledge just isn't, it's not just coming in one ear and going out the other. We're taking this and we're going to make it actionable, give you some resources that you can actually apply in your business today. You can do it this afternoon, literally, if you're so inspired. So that's us, and we're Olometrics. We're a digital marketing and analytics agency. We do Google ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, and the programmatic ads, and all these other ad platforms. But what makes us really different is we focus on analytics a lot with our clients. We want to make sure that they can trust the data, so that when we're scaling up the campaigns and we're working on their SEO, that all of that can be used to make effective business decisions. So without further ado, I'm Warren. So I'm one of the co-founders and managing directors of Olometrics. Before working at Olometrics, and we've been around for about 4 years now. I think we had our fourth birthday in August. Before that, I was a director of marketing and events at a company called Kintech, and I'll share some of my experience there, working with SEO and the stuff that we did there that I learned and brought to Olometrics, and we've really refined with our clients. And then I also teach digital marketing classes at BrainStation and Jelly Academy and a few other places, and speak about digital marketing at various conferences. So joining me today is Lauren, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Yeah, hey guys. So I actually started as employee number one with Olo, really part-time, and I have grown in the last 3 years to become the team's SEO and content specialist. It is kind of its own self-taught industry, and so I've learned so much in the last few years, and I'm actively learning new things every day on this because it changes so fast. So that's where I'm at currently. But previous to that, I was in marketing admin and marketing writer roles in the real estate industry, and prior to that in the tech industry. So that's my background.
Thank you. And so a little bit about these workshops. I talked about them as going to be a continuing format. So the next one's on December 7th. And we're just going to pick a new topic each time. And we want to create a bit of a community. So I've done this I'm taking this BrainStation format almost of like these mini classes and bringing it to our marketing workshops versus your typical, I'll say, webinar, which is oftentimes a sales webinar, which is only kind of giving you a little bit of like the intro of a topic, and then they're trying to sell you on something else. So that's the goal here. We want to make these, build a community, get people coming back more often, have something that actually gives back to the marketers and digital marketers that are trying to stay up to date with the latest trends, and then get feedback from you guys. So get feedback about what do you want to learn? What do you want to learn in the next webinar? Those are things that we can answer for you, and we can put together more targeted workshops so that we can really just create better content. So the agenda today, we're going to talk about website architecture first. Then we're going to talk about keyword intent, understanding keyword intent, and how the two work together. First off, I'll tell you what website architecture is. Then how do we rank higher? How do we get these pages higher on Google? That's all about on-page optimization. And then we'll do our exercise. At the end, we've got a free resource for you, and we can do some Q&A if you don't have any questions that were answered. I did have a slide here. I already asked a few of you to recommend to do introductions. So if you haven't yet, just put your name, the company you work for, and then maybe the industry into the chat. And if we can make some of these examples relevant to you, then we definitely will. So thank you so far to Andrew from Whistler Spaces Real Estate. We've definitely worked with real estate clients in the past and used a lot of these techniques to help them with their blog and help them with the pages on their website. Same thing for SaaS. This definitely applies to SaaS platforms as well as SaaS websites. I've worked with SaaS clients, B2C and B2B, to do and implement a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So, and since we're going to be, learning together, is just a reminder. I know we're all busy with a million tabs going on, and I know it's the middle of the day, but if possible, try to minimize multitasking, because it'll help you do the exercise at the end once you really absorb this content. So how did this start? I got this question a couple of years ago. It was actually from a SaaS client. So which pages on our website should we try to be ranking for which keywords? So they were just kind of confused. Like, hey, we got all these pages on our website. We know that we want to go after all these keywords. Like, what page should go after which? What pages should we go after with our blog? What pages should we go after with our services pages, or product pages, our home page, etc. And so they were just a little lost on how to organize your thoughts. And that's really what we're going to be talking today. So there's three important factors to consider. One is how your website is structured. So websites are all kind of designed in a folder hierarchy. What makes sense in that user journey through the website, but also what makes sense to Google when Google's indexing your website. What your ideal customers are searching for and the intent behind their search. So this is probably the bulk of the content today that we're going to talk about is search intent. And what we can learn from how people search about our business and products and services online. And then how to tell Google what each page is about, because that's what we're doing. Once we know that keyword we want to go after, well, how do we go after it? We need to create content and put that keyword into our page in the proper way to make a rank in Google. So how we're going to unpack these each is that first one is called website architecture. That's how our page is organized. The second one is keyword intent, and the third one is on-page SEO. So I'll go through website architecture first. I'll pass it off to Lauren for the other two. So website architecture, it's how your website is structured and organized. So you can think about it like this kind of org chart here, but you've got your main homepage, your website, and then you've got your kind of subfolders, which are going to be your main, usually your primary menus and your navigation of your website. And then those are going to have some subpages, and then those are going to have subpages. So it's important when you, Google prefers if you have a flatter architecture. So that means less clicks. You only want about 4 clicks down. If you have websites that start to get really, really deep with subfolder. So, let's say like your homepage, and then you've got services, and then you've got industries, and then you've got locations, and you've got products, and then and they're not separated out into a flatter structure. Then you start to get penalized for that. So it's more confusing for a person that's visiting your website anyway. Then they have to go down and start digging through it. It's like a maze that they have to kind of navigate through. So it's better to have a flatter structure, 3 levels deep, maybe 4 if you need to for certain parts of your site. But that's it. It's going to help you stay much more organized anyway. And I'd say most websites are 3 levels deep. That's kind of what I see. So why is this important? Well, website architecture helps website visitors and search engine crawlers find what they're looking for. And so a lot of times people talk about, we need to optimize for SEO. Well, most of the time, if you're optimizing for the user experience, the person to actually find what they need to on your site, you're going to also optimize for SEO or search engine crawlers by default, because they are trying to mimic what users care about. And Google's gotten smarter and smarter over the years with their algorithm updates to try to look at more user behavior and intent signals. So things like average time on page, average session duration, or people actually like getting to their website and finding the things they're looking for. But keywords is still a massive part of Google knowing what to rank each page for. So a common problem that I see, especially with larger organizations, Well, it happens with small companies too, because everyone obsesses about the website. Like it's the website's kind of like it's the digital store. And so as organizations grow, they add more services, new people start asking for new pages on the website. It starts to become a cluttered mess. And I can see sometimes with websites that have been around for a really long time, there's going to be these like weird loops of click loops where you go from one page, it takes you to the next page, takes you back to the other page, and it starts to get a little crazy. So that's because most people design their websites based on what the company does. So they're thinking about, hey, we do this product, this service, so we need a page for that to talk about that thing. But the other side is that they are not designing their website for the ideal customer and what they are searching for, which means not for SEO. So it's the default. I think it's just in our nature to want to it's like the curse of knowledge. You're too close to your product, you're too close to your company. You think, okay, we've got this thing that we want to launch. Maybe it's a new campaign, it's a new service. We're going to create a page for it. But you're not getting out of your head and getting into your customer's head.
You're starting with the company first rather than the customer first.
Exactly. And so sometimes it's literally in the content itself, like the actual page. It's like whether that page needs to even exist or not. Sometimes it's also just what you're calling it. Is it shared office space or co-working space? Is it RMT or massage therapist, right? So just knowing, okay, first off, what the page is, but what are people actually searching will help you make that page more effective at ranking higher in Google. So the new way to do it is design a website based on information that your ideal customer is searching for. And so this means knowing your customer needs, their searches related to your brand, business, product, services, and the problems that they are trying to solve with those searches. And I'll say the other side of this, and this is actually a good real estate example, is one of our clients, they were doing a blog, and they're thinking, okay, well, let's do like something that people are searching for is condo pet rules. And so they created a blog, top 5 condo pet rules, and that was the highest traffic blog on their website. That brought thousands of people to their website every month, and no one converted. So no one became a customer because their target market was more in like higher end, like houses and townhomes and whatnot. And so you have to also know your audience and really have an understanding of like who am I trying to serve. And that's when we talk about your customer, your ideal customer's needs are going to be very different than just what people are searching for in general. So you get to be specific here as a business owner or marketer, and just know your brand and the people that you're serving. So the default way that most people do this, company-centric content and language, hippo-driven page creation, which is the highest paid person's opinion. So your boss is like, we need a page for this, we need a page for this. And then marketers run around like crazy creating pages. You hope to get lucky with keywords. By default, you're going to have lower search engine click-through rates. SERP stands for search engine results page. It's the page that shows up when someone Googles something. And then a mix of irrelevant and relevant traffic. So in the condo pet rules, for example, they thought, okay, it's a good idea. Let's just do like this condo pet rules page. So they have irrelevant traffic coming to their website. And so you might think, well, it's still traffic, but you could have put those time and resources to create something that was very relevant to your audience. So the SEO optimized way that we're going to be talking about today is to create customer-centric content based on what people are searching. So it's demand-driven page creation. And then you're going to make progress on those keywords because you're creating a page for that search. You're going to get a higher search engine click-through rate, and you're going to increase your high-value traffic. So that's the high-value traffic is people that are more likely to be your actual ideal customer. And so that's how do we do all that? I'm going to pass it over to Lauren, and she's going to walk us through keyword intent, and then it's going to shine some light on it.
Yeah, so keyword intent is essentially the foundation between communicating with your customers and making your website do the same thing. So go ahead and next slide, because one does not simply start SEO without doing keyword research first. So it's the most important aspect of what we're doing here today. So we're talking about keywords and how to make those work for your website, but there's 3 pieces that make up the formula of how to choose a keyword. And keyword intent is just one piece of it. So there's volume, the number of monthly searches that a specific keyword or key phrase is getting. There's competition, or the difficulty to rank for that. So competition is basically how many people are trying to rank for this specific keyword, and how difficult is that going to be for us to also get on page 1. And lastly, intent, what I'm going to dig into here with you. So that's the why behind why they're searching it. And so like Warren said, it's really important to understand your customer for that. We need to understand who it is that's trying to look for the solution that is your business and how they're searching for it. So we want to get a deeper understanding of who your ideal customer is and what it is that they're actually trying to find. There's 4 types of intent here we're going to go through. So they all work into a bit of a funnel here, which is why I've got that imagery here on this slide. So we're going to work from the top of the funnel down to the bottom. The first aspect of keyword intent is informational. So these users are actually just looking for information. They have a question maybe, or they just need a quick fact from the search engine. So if you want to go ahead and hit the examples there, we've got SEO definition. Who's singing at the Super Bowl? They just want to know the name. And oftentimes they get this information straight from the search engine results page, the SERP. And hopefully they're coming into your website to get a little more info than if they're looking for more of a content piece, like how to make Eggs Benedict or how to tie a tie, those kind of articles.
Yeah, and a lot of times the informational searches are your who, what, where, when, why, can I, how, and all of those types of searches.
Yeah.
And those will make up your informational searches. So someone's trying to answer a question.
Yeah. So you'd use that intent when you're creating a content plan for your site, or maybe you've already got content on your site and it's not performing like you wish it would have. So you can go back and actually optimize existing blog posts or content pieces for new keywords, and really dial in the focus of that to increase the organic traffic. You might use informational keywords for content creation and educational content like we're doing today. So the landing page on our website that you got to, we were optimizing for informational intent keywords for this workshop. And lastly, one of the most underutilized that we find with clients is an FAQ page. Again, like Warren said, they're using those question keywords, right? So why, how, when, how much, those kind of keywords or key phrases that they're looking for, and you can optimize for those on an FAQ page on your site. It's a great place to rank for those. So next we have navigational, and this user's trying to find a specific site or a page, or maybe it's actually like a physical location or phone number. So a few examples here. We've got SEMrush blog, Seahawks stadium address, IKEA customer service. And you can see in all of these, there's a brand mentioned here. So that's where you would actually usually use the navigational intent keywords, is when optimizing for branded queries or keywords, one and the same, keywords and queries. So wherever your brand is referenced with one of these additional terms like shipping info or address, customer service, those are the kind of pages that you would want to use navigational intent keywords for. Down the funnel a little further here, we've got commercial intent, which is sometimes referred to as investigational for that exact reason, because they're really getting close to wanting to make a purchase, but they're not quite there yet. They need a little more info, a little more comparison. So they're investigating a brand, a product, or a service. A few examples. Here you've got iPad Air versus iPad Mini. They're past the point of comparing all of the different companies that they want to go through. They know they want an Apple device. They're just not sure which specific model they want. Best dishwasher brands. They need a dishwasher and they're ready to purchase, but they need a little comparison, some more info. and SEO Agency Vancouver, another one that we try to rank for. So you might use these keyword intents for commercial intent on your collection or category pages is where I use these the most. That's a page on your site where you might have many of your services or products listed on one page. So the hierarchy that Warren showed earlier, you've got your home page. Second level would be a category or a collection page. And then below that, we would link out to all of your specific product or services. So it's that second level page that would be a great place to use commercial intent keywords. If you have a smaller website, or maybe you don't, e-commerce sites are easy to say, use those for a collection or category page. But if you are a bit smaller and you don't offer as many services, you don't have that level on your website, you could use commercial keyword intent on your product pages, but you want to be mindful that this user, again, is not quite ready to make the purchase, so they need a little more information. And that's why I've got this last point here, that if you're using these on product or service pages, make sure you are giving the user the clear benefit statements, the product or service comparisons, or the detailed features of whatever your product or service are. So one important aspect to include there. And fourth, the last type of keyword intent here, we have transactional. So this person is all the way down the marketing funnel here. They're ready to take action and make a purchase. Some examples we've got here for you: buy women's running shoes, where to buy a tent trailer. They're ready to go there and make that purchase, or affordable daycare programs. And you're going to use these ones, like we mentioned in the last slide, actually on those product and service pages. But most importantly, when we're thinking of SEO and how it works with CRO, conversion rate optimization here, it's great. You want to bring that traffic into this page for a transactional keyword intent, but you don't want to leave them hanging there. You got to make sure they have a good CTA button there to actually make that purchase. So that's going to improve the organic traffic of your page, and over time, if they are converting properly, improve it even more. So it works together. And then just kind of a bonus here I thought I'd put in is that SEO is the hat I wear on our team. But SEO is only one part of search engine marketing. And obviously paid advertising is another huge side of that. And so SEO and paid advertising, or PPC, can work together when you optimize a product page for a specific focus keyword like we're talking about here, and then running your ads to that page on that keyword is going to give you a really great quality score and improve your conversions as well. So that's just one way how SEO and PPC can work together.
Yeah, it's a great point, Lauren. And one of the other things that we often do in there's a type of ad in Google Ads called a dynamic search ad, and shopping ads work the same way, is where they actually just pull information from the landing page itself and then create an ad. So doing the SEO keyword optimization on the page, let's say it is a specific tent trailer or model of tent trailer. Optimizing that page for SEO actually optimizes it so that you get cheaper clicks on all your ads, and also you can have more accurate shopping ads, or they're called performance max now, performance max ads or dynamic ads. So it's like it's a double-edged or two-pronged win, I guess, when you do optimize these pages.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
So quick summary, just to give them all to you in one view here so you can compare. Red box up on the top right, informational. That's the user looking for information. They're not ready to make a purchase, so they're looking for those question keywords. Navigational, they know exactly where they want to navigate to. They're just also not ready to make a purchase. Commercial or investigational intent is the user that's ready to look for more information on a specific product or service. And then transactional, they're ready to buy. They just want to get to the page where they can make that action.
Awesome.
So again, that's keyword intent, one aspect of the three important things when choosing your focus keyword for on-page optimization.
Yeah, and the others being volume, or the number of monthly searches, which is represented as an average. So usually it'd be like 1,000 searches a month. Like that's an average of the last 12 months. And then difficulty or competition, which we'll touch on in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, how to tell Google what your pages are about and which pages are important. So this is a process that I do all the time. I do a lot of on-page optimization for my daily routine. So, all right. So there's 3 points here on this slide to take us through what you need to do to actually optimize one specific page on your site for SEO. So you're going to choose that single keyword or key phrase that's really important to your business, and that's going to become your focus keyword. So if we see the next couple points here, we've got an example for SEO agency Vancouver, and we landed on that specific keyword for our website because it had the correct keyword intent we were looking for. It had high enough volume to basically push us to choose that keyword. And really no point to optimize for a keyword that's getting 0 traffic, right? So you want to make sure there's enough searches for that keyword that it is going to bring in people, and you're not just optimizing for a keyword that's not going to get you anywhere. And then low competition. So that's on a scale of 0 to 100. And generally you're looking for, when you're comparing multiple keywords, you want that trifecta: the correct intent, a high enough keyword volume that it's going to bring in new traffic, and then you want to consider the competition level of that keyword as well. So those are the 3 aspects. Once you've landed on that keyword, sorry, Warren, if you want to interject anything there, go ahead.
I was going to say there's one piece to the competition part is it depends on your own website authority too.
Absolutely.
So if you're a brand new website, you just started, you really have to go for quite low competition keywords.
Yeah, you want to 25, but below, basically.
Yeah, below 25, let's say. Yeah, and if your site's been around for a while and you've got a lot of authority, so it's something called domain score. We don't really touch on it today, but you can use certain SEO tools. Maybe I'll share a couple at the end that will allow you to kind of see what your domain score is. So let's say you had a domain score of 50. Then you could start going after keywords that have a keyword difficulty of around 50. Like you can start to stretch up to like maybe 60 of it. You may end up on page 2 of Google, but yeah, it's all in. It's relative to your own website authority.
Yeah, that's the measuring tool we use when kind of looking for that proper competition level. And it just means that you actually stand a chance of getting to page 1 for that if you're in that vicinity of an achievable competition score.
Yeah, there's a joke. Where's the best place to hide a dead body? It's on page 2 of Google. No one goes, very few people go to page 2 of Google. So being able to rank for the ones where you can get on page 1 and the top of page 1 will make all the difference in the world. Like that's where 50% of the traffic goes to the first 3 results. So so that's why these paying attention to these factors is really important. Actually, I find that the other one that you said, Lauren, about like making sure that people actually search for it, that's probably the biggest mistake that I see business owners make. Well, why aren't we showing up for this? Why aren't we showing up for this keyword when I search this? And they'll just pull the keyword data and I'll go, well, actually, no one's searching for that, but they are searching for this, right? And that's back to the company-centric language versus customer-centric language. It's good to have in your back pocket if you're talking to a business owner about this, whether you're a marketer or it's one of your clients. It's okay. Well, let's look at those keywords and see which ones people are actually searching for, and then see which ones we can actually rank for. So that's the conversation. Yeah.
Yep. Totally. That, and just a quick example of that too, the customer versus company centric language. We've done a little work for some school programs, and what one school is calling their program versus other schools may vary. And we learned that one of the programs we were trying to optimize for varied. It had one extra word inserted in the program title, which is what they were trying to rank for. And when we took that out, rankings immediately started improving. So it's just one example of making sure that you're actually looking at what your customers or students in that case are searching for. So, okay, back to the slide here. So we've got our focus keyword in mind here. We've already found our focus keyword, SEO agency Vancouver, for the correct intent, high volume, low competition. Now we need to look at our website and see, do we have a page for this really high valuable keyword that we want to be ranking for? And if we don't, we need to create one and create that content. And if we do, how can we rework this page to rank for this keyword? And then the last step here, number 3, is optimizing the content on that page once you have uncovered the page on your site to optimize or identified that you need to create one.
All right.
So once you've got those 2 pieces, you've got the page you need to optimize and you've got the focus keyword that you want to start ranking for, there's a couple places, that you need to put that keyword in on that landing page, both on the page and in the meta information that Google is reading. So 7 things here. You've got your URL. If you're capable of changing that URL, that's one huge ranking factor for that. Page title, aka the meta title, that's that blue text that you see on the search engine results page. The meta description is what falls below that. The H1 or the main heading on your landing page. Subsequent headings then as well, if you can include it there. A couple times throughout the paragraph content or the body copy on your landing page. And lastly, in one of the alt text or the file name of an image on your landing page. So that's a lot of places to put that focus keyword. And it's the more of these places you can include that, the better your chances of ranking on page 1 are going to be. But hop to the next slide. You do want to avoid this keyword stuffing, it's called. So this is where SEO becomes an art. It's not just a science of finding that keyword and mapping it to the page that it should match with. It's also an art because you're trying to talk to the search engine and your user. And both of those readers are value very different things in how this language is actually displayed. Google's getting closer to valuing what the actual user experience is looking for, but they also want to see that keyword in all of those ranking factors, in all of those 7 spots we talked about. And your user wants to read it in natural language. They don't want to read red apples every other word. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then now that we're here, we've got that page that you were looking at optimized for that keyword. We've put it into those 7 different spots. There are a lot of other places you can go from here to continue to increase the organic traffic to that landing page you've been working on. And here are just a few examples of that. Semantically related keywords. That's something that I generally do at the same time. We've got internal linking and how that relates to your menus, as well as your contextual links, which is just hyperlinks in your text usually. Topic clustering, that's your content plan. Technical SEO, making sure that your site speed or your links aren't getting in the way. Canonicalization, that's referring to, it's a big scary word, but it's basically making sure you don't have multiple pages on your website competing for the same keyword. It's telling Google which page to rank for that keyword, even if you do need multiple pages to explain it to your users. Indexing, backlinking, and honestly, almost 200 other factors. SEO is an ocean. There's a lot to it, but this foundation of keywords and choosing the right one, that's going to be the biggest and most important piece to start with.
Yeah, it's like the 80-20 Pareto principle. When people start learning about SEO, I find that most people start to look at all of this other stuff and they're like, oh my God, they get so wrapped up in the speed of a website and whether they have, the right canonicalization, all this stuff. And it's like, well, you didn't even pick the right keyword for the page. So that's why we're so focused on the keyword first. And then all of this stuff is like, it's the tidying up at the end to just make sure that we're not getting penalized for anything. I'd say maybe other than something like topic clustering, which is like,
it relates closely to keywords.
It's a much broader kind of longer term strategy for your content.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thanks, Lauren.
Yeah.
Awesome work. So at this point, we're gonna hop into the exercise in a second. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them into the chat. I think Lauren mentioned like she talked through everything in, very clearly. But if you have any other specific questions, throw them in. I wanted to quickly shine a light on upcoming workshop that we've got. So the next one of these is December 7th, and Nabila, I think, is going to share a link to that for anyone that wants to join. It's also free. This one, we're going to talk about how to plan a digital marketing campaign. We've done this one in the past, and it was probably one of our most well-received workshops. And we use a framework called the POST framework to plan the people, objective, strategy, and tactics. And we've got a bunch of templates to share there as well. So if you guys are interested, would love to see you there. That's why we do these. We want to create a little bit of a community, people coming back to future workshops, and see some familiar faces. And then I'll go through the exercise, and I'm going to quickly show you the template that we're going to use, the kind of free resource. So we're going to break into groups of 2 to 4. So I will say one thing is what we want is one person's going to share their screen. One person's going to maybe take notes. But the person who shared the screen is going to kind of fill out the spreadsheet. So Zimmerman, yes, how important are href lang tags? I'll go over that in a bit. Thanks for the question. And so if you've ever used Google Meet before and you shared your screen, can you please just say yes in the chat? Because we'll make sure that you get paired in a group with other people so that you can be the one that's sharing your screen. Sometimes if you've never shared your screen before on Google Meet, then you won't be able to share it. So I just want to make sure that we kind of divvy it. So Rachel or anyone else, if you've used Google Meet before and you've actually shared your screen, then just say yes in the chat. Otherwise, we'll just hope, try to give it our best go. Awesome. Thanks, Macy. Okay, so then we're going to read through the scenarios, and we're going to use the SEO playbook to complete this task. And then we're going to get one person to share the results with the group. And then hopefully we'll learn something from the decisions that one group made versus another. And I find that maybe if there's slight differences, that's where we're going to learn the most. So this SEO playbook overview is right here. And I think Nabila is going to share the link. Thank you, Nabila. So when you guys access this doc, this is something that Lauren's put together. And so you just come up to file up here, make a copy, and then use that copy to make any edits. Because I think that this one should be locked down. So yeah, I see a few of you on there now. And come up here, file, make a copy, and then use that copy. Oh, Jackson signed off, but that's okay. And all right, so I'm going to quickly go through this. How to structure your website and blog for SEO. So this is something we call our SEO playbook. We use it with all of our clients. This is just a pared down version for this exercise. And so the first 2 tabs are going to be used for our exercise. One is our keyword shortlist, and one is our site structure and keyword map. So the goal of the exercise is to look through this shortlist, to use this shortlist, and I'm going to go through the scenario in a second, to identify the keywords that we want to rank for. And so we're going to go in and we're going to go, okay, that's going to be a focus keyword that we want. And then maybe you can put a little note there of why. But that's it. You're just looking at the keywords. And I think we only put like maybe about 25 here. So we're just trying to get you to think about why you would want to use this keyword, and what page would you want it to rank for. So once you pick a keyword, let's say it is how to get started with Google Ads, or maybe it's social media agency Vancouver, let's say, or social media advertising services. And I'm just making this up. Then the next tab over, once you've selected that shortlist, then you want to find a page that's going to rank for this. Remember, we kind of said, are we going to rework a current page, or are we going to create a new page? So looking through the pages, maybe I see this one, what we do, social media advertising. Okay, maybe that's the one. So I would come here and go social media advertising services. I would put it to that page and say, that's my recommended focus keyword. And that's it. So I'll read through the scenario now. I'm just going to undo those 2 points. And by the way, you're not allowed to use that one. Actually, you can use that one if you want. So sorry, the other 2 tabs here are just, these are a resource for you if you're using an SEO tool like SEMrush, Ubersuggest, Ahrefs. There's a lot of SEO tools out there where you can scan your website or you can scan your competitors' websites. This is where you would pull all of that data into. And so this is what we do. We scan our website, we scan a bunch of competitors' websites, right? And then we start to try to expand on those keywords, come up with new ideas, find variations, and we create these like big lists. And then beyond that, everything else past that point is then we're going to start to want to narrow our choices and like prioritize and pick the ones that are the most attractive for the business. So we narrow it down to maybe a top 100. And then from there, pick our focus keywords. Maybe it's top 20 based on how many pages you have on your website, and then put those to a page. Does that all make sense? So yeah, the two orange ones are the research pages, and then the blue ones, which we're going to use for the scenario, are the filtering ones. In this scenario, we don't have to do the research. Lauren's already done that for you. So we just want to get you familiar with how to do the prioritization of choosing those keywords and picking a page for it. So that being said, oops, sorry, I'll come back here, and I'll walk you through the scenario. So your job is to help Olometrics improve our SEO. And so we are, as I mentioned, a digital marketing agency in Vancouver and Squamish. We specialize in Google Ads, social media ads, SEO, analytics, and more. So those are our services. And we're looking to improve SEO for 3 pages on our website. So 3 pages, not on the blog, but on our in our website structure. And we also want to come up with focus keywords for our next 3 blog articles. So help us choose the right keywords and which pages we should create or rework to rank them. And a quick, like an easy rule of thumb to think about this is the commercial and the transactional intent pages. Those ones are going to be more likely to be, as Lauren mentioned, related to your like services pages and your product pages, maybe your industry pages, and then the informational intent searches, those would be more likely to be part of your blog. So, you know, anyone asking questions, how, what, where, when, why, how can I, how much, and then etc. So those are going to be more likely to be a blog article. So we've got 3 of each. And these are the steps to take. So you're going to narrow down the keyword list. You're going to pick the 6 keywords based on intent, volume, keyword difficulty. So those are the things that you can discuss in your groups. And then you're going to select 3 of each and then select the page. And then identify which pages we should rework and which pages or new pages might need to be added. So we put in a couple that you might be able to rework, and then we put a couple that might be a good candidate for a new page for us. All right, so we're going to go into breakout rooms, and I think can't share my screen yet. Okay, so
2 breakout rooms of 4 here, and then we'll check in with you guys.
Okay, we'll do that. So 2 breakout rooms of 4. Are they set up now?
Yep. Ready to go.
Awesome. So we'll go in there, and then we'll get about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back here and we'll talk about it. So we'll see you guys in there. Lauren and I will jump in.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys. Okay. At this point, I'll stop the recording. So for everyone that was watching online, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.